Hello everyone, I'm Ms. Harshida Farveen from the Department of Hospital Administration, Yenepoya deemed to be University. Welcome to today's session on classification of cost. Cost classification is one of the fundamental concepts in cost accounting. It helps us organize cost into meaningful categories so that we can plan better, control expenditure and make informed decisions. In today's session, we'll go step by step through the different ways cost can be classified and understood on how each classification helps in managerial decision making. By the end of the session, you will be able to understand the meaning and the purpose of cost classification, to recognize the different bases used for classification, explain the key types of cost and identify special cost concepts such as sunk cost, opportunity cost and relevant cost. Before we explore the types of cost classification, let's first understand the cost accounting. What is meant by cost accounting and what is the meaning of cost? Cost accounting is one of the main branches of accounting that deals with identifying, recording and analyzing all the costs involved in an organization's operations. It helps management understand the true cost of producing a product or delivering a service. The goal is not just to keep a track of money spent, but to use cost information for planning, controlling and improving efficiency. Now, when we say cost, it simply refers to the monetary value of resources used to obtain something. It's the amount spent to make or deliver goods and services. For example, when an organization buys raw materials, pays wages to workers, or incurs expense for electricity bill or any utility bill, all of that is cost. So cost is the value of effort, materials, time and resource that goes into an operation. And cost accounting gives us a systematic way to capture and analyze the information effectively. Now that we know the meaning of cost and cost accounting, let's see how cost can be classified. According to Accounting Standard 1, that is CAS 1, cost can be classified on several different bases. So it can be classified in relation to object, also called as traceability, on the basis of function, behavior, normality, time period, and finally on the basis on how cost serves the management decision making purposes. Each of these gives us a different angle for understanding and analyzing the same set of expenses. So let's go through each one in detail. The first basis is traceability, which simply means how easily we can trace a cost to its cost object or activity. So there are two main types of cost classification based on traceability, that is direct cost and indirect cost. So direct costs are those costs that can be clearly linked to a specific product, service or department, or simply any cost that can be easily or conveniently traced to a cost object, like direct materials and direct labor. For example, the cost of X-ray films in a radiology department that can be directly traced to that service. Coming to indirect cost, on the other hand, any cost that cannot be traced to a single product or service, and these costs are usually shared among several departments. Examples include rent, electricity bill or any other administrative expenses. In short, if you can directly identify a cost, or if you can directly identify where a cost goes, it's a direct cost. If not, it's indirect cost. The next classification is based on the behavior, how a cost changes with the level of activity. So we have three types under these bases: fixed cost, variable cost and semi-variable cost. Fixed cost remains constant in total no matter how much the activity level changes within a certain range. These are the costs even the activity level increases or decreases, the cost remains, to an extent it remains fixed. Examples include rent, insurance and salaries of permanent staff, etc. The second type under this basis is variable cost. So variable costs change in direct proportion to the level of activity, which simply means increase in production will also increase in the cost, decrease in production will decrease in the cost. Examples include raw materials or direct labor. And the third type under this basis is semi-variable cost. Semi-variable costs include both fixed and variable elements. For instance, electricity bills. Electricity bills have a fixed charge and a variable charge depending upon usage. So these are the costs that remains fixed to a certain extent or and vary to a certain extent or vice versa. This classification, the classification on the basis of behavior will help us predict how total cost will change when production increases or decreases. Costs can be classified based on functions, that is what role or purpose they serve in an organization. So we broadly classify them into production cost and commercial cost. So production cost, which includes all the costs incurred in manufacturing or delivering a service such as materials, labors and factory overheads. Whereas commercial cost on the other hand includes administration, selling and distribution costs like office salaries, advertising and transportation costs, promotion costs, etc. This classification helps identify which functional areas consume more resources so management can take up appropriate plan and control costs accordingly. Now let's classify costs based on normality. Normal costs are those that are expected to occur during regular operations. Examples include salaries, utilities and maintenance, etc. Abnormal cost on the other hand is incurred under unusual or unexpected situation such as accidents, fire or equipment failure. So identifying abnormal cost helps management separate routine expenses from unexpected ones and analyze them separately for better control. So usually normal costs are included in cost of production, whereas abnormal costs are transferred to the profit and loss account. So identifying abnormal costs helps management separate the routine expenses from unexpected costs and analyze them separately for a better control. The next basis is time period. Here, costs are divided into two broad categories, historical and predetermined costs. Historical costs are actual costs recorded after they have been incurred, that is soon after the performance, that is after the production, whatever cost has been incurred, that is called historical cost. So these are useful for evaluating past performance. And predetermined costs are estimated in advance and used for planning and control. So examples include standard cost or budgeted cost. Historical costs look at what has happened, while predetermined costs help plan what should happen. Now classification based on management purpose. So here we will be classifying the cost on how useful it is for management's decision making. So the first is relevant cost. Relevant costs are the future costs that will change depending on the decision made. If a cost remains the same no matter which option you choose, it's considered as irrelevant cost. For example, if you're deciding whether to accept a special order, the extra materials and wages required are considered as relevant costs. So relevant costs are those costs that affect the decision making. So relevant costs are those costs that affects the decision making. So next we have marginal cost. This is the additional cost of producing one more unit of output. That is, to produce one additional unit, what is the cost you are going to be incurring? For instance, if producing 100 units cost rupees 10,000 and producing one unit cost rupees 10,200, then the marginal cost of the extra unit is considered as rupees 200. In other words, it is simply variable cost incurred for one additional unit. Marginal cost analysis helps determine pricing, production volume and the profitability of accepting extra work or additional orders. The next classification or next type is imputed cost. An imputed cost is a notional or hypothetical cost. It's not an actual cash expense, but we include these costs in decision making to reflect the economic value of using certain resources. For example, notional rent paid on an company owned building or interest on capital invested by the owner. We don't actually pay these, but we will be considering these to understand the full economic cost of using such resources. And these costs will help in fair comparison and accurate performance analysis. A sunk cost is the cost that has already been incurred and cannot be recovered. For example, the money spent on old equipment or on cancelled project, or money spent on past research and development expenses. Since some costs are past expenses, they shouldn't be affecting the future decision. The rule of thumb is to ignore some costs because they are gone, and focusing on them can lead to a poor decision making. Always remember, managerial decisions should be focusing on future costs and not on the past ones. The next type is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost represents the benefit lost when we choose one alternative over another. In simple terms, it is the cost of foregone opportunities. For example, if a company uses its own building for production, the rent it could have earned by leasing it is opportunity cost. So this helps in evaluating whether resources are being used in the most beneficial way possible. Next up is replacement cost. Replacement cost is the cost of replacing an existing asset at a current market price. If a machine purchased 5 years ago for Rs 3 lakhs would now cost Rs 5 lakhs to replace, then 5 lakhs is a replacement cost. This is useful especially in cases of insurance valuation, budgeting and decision making, especially in decisions such as whether to repair or replace an old assets. Next, based on the avoidability, cost can be classified into avoidable and unavoidable cost. Here we have two contrasting types of cost. Avoidable cost can be eliminated if a particular activity or department is stopped. For example, materials or labor specific to a particular activity. Whereas unavoidable cost will continue even if the operation stops, like rent or salaries of permanent employees. Understanding these helps manager decide whether to continue or discontinue a service, a product line or a department. Next, out-of-pocket cost is another classification of cost. Out-of-pocket costs are actual cash payments made for expenses like wages, supplies and utilities. They represent immediate cash outflows and are especially important for short-term decision making and budgeting. In simple terms, if a money is physically leaving the organization, it's an out-of-pocket cost. So before we summarize, let's go over a quick decision-making checklist of costs that has to be considered. Focus only on future and relevant costs. Ignore the sunk costs because they cannot be changed, and consider marginal costs and out-of-pocket costs for short-term decision making. Include opportunity and imputed costs for economic comparison, and identify avoidable and unavoidable costs when deciding whether to stop an operation. To summarize, cost classification helps us understand the nature, behavior and purpose of cost. We looked at classification based on traceability, function, behavior, normality, time period and decision making relevance. Each classification serves a specific purpose, whether it's control, planning or analysis. According to Cost Accounting Standard 1, proper cost identification and classification ensure consistency, comparability and transparency. In short, effective cost classification forms a foundation for accurate cost management and sound decision making. Thank you.